Hello, everyone. Welcome to Self Love You. I am Jenna, and I am here to talk to you today about a tragedy that has recently happened in my life. And I wanted to talk to everybody about it because I know that a lot of people that follow my channel are really hurting. And this tragedy has really hurt me. And so I'm right in the middle of my pain and going through these things. My dog that I had in the last video, the new dog, the puppy that I had and I raised for 3 months, and that looked just like a teddy bear but way cuter than this, and was my therapy dog. I took her into the vet to have her spayed, and she was killed at the vet's office. They're doing an autopsy and all of that, and that's really not what I want to talk about. Well, I kind of want to talk about it on this video. I'm here in my little meditation room. I just want to show you this meditation room that I created for myself. This is, you know how I talk about self-love. So you really need to love yourself. And so this is a little room that I created with my art and my little Papasan chair. There's a little pillow my mom got me for Christmas. And, you know, just things from my travels. And it's just a special room. And it's a place where I can come and do art and light candles and really just a happy place. And I went out of my way to make sure I created this happy place for myself. And so people ask about what is self-love. Self-love is creating happy places for yourself. It took me a long time, and it took me therapy to be able to really love myself enough to create such a place in my house. A lot of times for years I would just have a room that was just cluttered, or, you know, just nothing was organized, but everything in here is very clear, and things I cherish are on the wall, and all my books and all my journals and all my art are all in this room. And I have this comfortable place, and I got this in Cabo San Lucas, which is the mandala, which is, you know, to me and to Jung, is a representation of the self and the integration of the self, and in psychology in some circles. And pets, you know, are very important to you because they love you unconditionally and they accept you unconditionally. And I had waited many years, like a lot of years, and I'd gone through a lot of healing, and I wasn't ready for a pet for a really long time. And then finally, I got a new house, and everything started coming together, and my life started coming together. And, you know, I have my little room, and I had room in my heart. I found room in my heart for a precious puppy. I happened to get the most adorable puppy on the planet to me. And this puppy really woke me up in a lot of ways. I didn't know I was asleep. Kind of brought me out of some funky stuff. And I realized that a pet can really be like a therapeutic tool. Not that you're using it as an object, but it does become part of your self-object. And anyway, so last Tuesday, I took her into the vet to have her spayed after all of our milestones. You know, her first time up the stairs, her first time jumping in the car, and all the walks we took together, because I don't have a backyard. So I took her on 100 walks in her 3 months. Just so much time we spent together. And she died during the spaying process. She had a cardiac arrest. And so we don't know whose fault it is. She has, you know, the autopsy is coming. So I want to explain to you about the pain that I'm experiencing. The pain that I'm experiencing is very similar to the pain of my healing journey. It's the same feeling. It's the same loss. It's a feeling of loss. It's a feeling of pain, internal pain that you really can't, you know, you don't want to drink it away. You don't want to take drugs. You don't want to eat. You don't want to stuff it. You want to feel the pain. And this is, you know, it's an emotional pain. And I just thought it quite interesting how this pain felt very similar to maybe whenever, you know, any relationship loss. Or as I was coming out of the fog, which is the fear, obligation, and guilt of, you know, what I was going through in my, when I was individuating and becoming a whole person through the therapeutic process, It's very similar pain. And so while ago I was looking up, ways to get out of this pain wall of death in a family, in a pet. And, pets are special. And, it was only 3 months. And I don't have to explain myself. I know I'm not trying to, but I finally had a place, and her name was Sedona. And Sedona is the trip that I took this year. In 2017, I took a trip to Sedona on my own, and it was something that, I really did from my solar plexus, something that it really took a lot of guts to go out and climb these mountains all by myself. And that's what I named her. So she had so much meaning to me. She meant, a new start for me, a new place in my heart, a new level of being able to care for her. Because I was able to care for her with a really good heart, not a heart of coldness, not a heart of hurt, but I was able to love her from this really cool place that I have found within myself. And that's through the healing journey. And so I was able to love her. So she meant so much to me. And I'm able to say that she meant so much to me and not hide how I really felt or, feel guilt or bad or any of that. I was a great mom. And she left this planet, and, the news was calling, Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 11. They were asking, because she's so cute. If you guys want to go, I have a radio show. It's called The Jenna Ryan Show. It's a real estate radio show that comes on every Sunday from 11 to 12. I haven't told y'all that, but I have that. And that's where I sell real estate. But if you want to go to my Instagram at The Jenna Ryan Show, you can see pictures of Sedona. That's her name. There'll never be another Sedona. And so I know a lot of you are hurting out there, and I understand your pain more this week than most days. A lot of days you dissociate, but whenever you lose a pet, you just can't put that under the rug. You have to just hurt from that. And especially, I've lost pets before, and whenever it's a young baby and a pet that, you're not prepared, there was no preparation. It was just like, wham, we were going great. We had plans. I was going to get her a little brother. He was supposed to come this week. In fact, the little brother is coming this week as long as everything's okay with the breeder and everything. I'm supposed to be able to go get him this week. I'm just afraid to even, I'm nervous now, but I am getting another puppy and then another. So I'm going to have 2. I want 2 puppies, and I have plenty of room for these fur babies. But I want to talk about pain in your heart. I have a nephew who recently lost his mom to suicide in my family. And just the pain of loss of, a pet is nothing compared to what he is going through. Nothing. Like, I can't even begin to imagine the agony. And I know that a lot of people out there, you're in a lot of pain. You're in pain because you've lost a relationship. You're in pain because you may have just some loss, or maybe a lifetime of loss. And I just want to say that there is hope for healing for you if you have pain. Some of the things that was recommended on the internet when I looked it up to do whenever you have a pet loss is to memorialize. Well, first of all, talk about the pain. Talk about the pet. Find people to talk about. Now, I'm not just going to call one friend and talk her head off for 9 days. I could do that, but that's not very good for the friendship. So I'm finding, people that I can talk to about this pain, or not the pain, about Sedona, the good stuff about her. I'm finding people that I can share the good stuff with and share my heart with and share what happened. And, I have an attorney working on it and all that. And so, find somebody to talk about it with. And then also to memorialize, the pet. And so I'm going to create a memorial for the pet. Now, there was a time in my life where I wouldn't have had space in my heart to even consider doing these things. And so this is a beautiful space. It's allowing yourself space to memorialize, to hurt, to heal. And so this may have a different meaning for you. You may have just lost a pet, but you also may need to memorialize whatever it is that you've lost in your life and talk about it with someone else, maybe a couple of people, and create a memorial and maybe have a ceremony, and really give yourself freedom and space to grieve your loss so that you can move forward. What is that? Kibler? I don't remember names because I love reading so much, but I always forget their names. Ross, Kibler, was it Kibler Ross? It's the 5 stages of grief, and you go through a spiral of grief: anger, denial, bargaining, and then finally you come to, depression and sadness. And finally you come to a place of acceptance. And it's been since Tuesday. Oh my goodness, look at this. I just noticed. Okay. This is my little, I've had this little teddy bear since I was in my 20s, and I first started going through my healing journey, and it was my little bear of hope, and that's what little Sedona was. This looks just like Sedona, doesn't it? And I've had this for years, many, many years, and she was on my shelf. Y'all got to see. Anyway, little Sedona, she's gone. There's no replacement for Sedona. I have to accept that, and I am accepting it, and I'm honoring my grief and honoring her memory. And for some reason, it wasn't meant for her to stay. Well, who knows why she left? I don't really want to contemplate. And I am getting a new dog that looks, it's from her same family, but not her brother or sister, and not her color. But I'll still love him. And not her sex even, not her gender. But I'm still going to love him and whomever I have in my life. And through this process, I've had such an outpouring from friends. Whenever you're going through like child abuse recovery or trauma recovery or narcissist abuse recovery, you don't get that support and validation from the community. But when you lose a pet, oh my goodness, the news is calling, and people are reaching out, and really validates my pain. And that really helps, I think, for one to move on. So I think it's important that you get validation. And I'm here to validate your pain. If you haven't had a loss directly that people can really jive with, then I'm here to say I jive with it. I understand what pain is all about. I understand what loss is all about, and I understand what recovery is all about, and I understand what unfairness is all about, and I understand how you feel, and I know you don't deserve to feel this way. And I know that you're going to pull through this, and you are going to be a whole person as you go through the process of grief, and as you go through the process of acceptance, accepting life on its own terms, not as you wanted it to be. Sometimes our plans have to be kind of willy-nilly. Whatever the universe, whatever God allows is going to come into our lives. I can't believe this bear. It just reminds me of little Sedona. I mean, she was so meaningful, that little dog, in those 3 months that I got to have her. She did something inside of me. Like, she would make me get up whenever, and I would okay, fine. And I would, go take her for a walk, and it was great exercise. And I ended up, at first I kind of resented it. And then I was like, wait a minute, this is a nice day. This is a beautiful day, and I'm walking with my beautiful dog. And then one day, a lot of days it was freezing. And I was like, you know what? I could be at home, but you know what? I have a beautiful dog, and I'm walking in the freezing cold, and it's okay. It was okay. Isn't that sad? It is so sad. And you know what? It's okay that she's gone. Well, I don't know about that, but I imagine someday I'll think that. I don't know when. I can't replace her eyes the way they would look up at me, or, just our little rhythm that we had together. But you know what? Life throws you curveballs, and even whenever you're healed and recovered, you still are not going to be fully, life doesn't always go our way. So we have to grieve and we have to heal. And we have to just sit there and not run from pain, but feel it. And get help. Get help and get validation for yourself so that you don't feel like you're alone. And don't talk bad about yourself and say negative things. Ooh, I have an idea for another video. Okay, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you soon.